Good evening to one and all. This is Aditi from CEO Bryota Technologies. Bryota is a leading digital therapeutic company working closely in lung health monitoring and management. We welcome you all for a special health talk with a renowned pulmonologist, Dr. Radha Munje and Dr. Meenakshi Bhakre. I will start this session by introducing our eminent personalities who are with us today. Dr. Radha Munje, MBBS, DT, MD, and FICS. Professor and head of the department Pulmonary, IGGMC Nagpur, and the president of Vidarbha Chest Association. Dr. Radha Munje is a veteran in treating pulmonary diseases with vast experience of more than 3 decades. Her professional area of interest and expertise is in asthma, allergy, and COPD. She is a recipient of many prestigious awards and have been on board of many associations. Each one of us at Bryota feels very privileged to be associated with such a senior doctor. And ma'am, we welcome you for this session. The next speaker, Dr. Meenakshi Bhakre, MBBS MD, DNB, Respiratory Medicine. HOD, Respiratory Medicine Department at Symbiosis Medical College for Women and Symbiosis University Hospital, SIU, Pune. Dr. Meenakshi has worked very closely with COVID patients, and her area of expertise is in asthma and COPD management. We are grateful to be associated with Dr. Meenakshi, who has an experience of more than a decade, and we welcome you, ma'am, for this session as well. Thank you very much for joining us. As we all know, we are fighting the pandemic, and it's been observed that after getting affected with SARS-CoV-2, more than 20% recovered patients report lung collapses or a severe secondary lung infection. Hence, people recovered from COVID-19 need ongoing rehabilitation, which have to include combination of multidisciplinary therapeutics. SIA programs provide exactly such lung rehabilitation for COVID-19 recovered patients and post-COVID-19 other complications. We also have special programs for asthma remission and COPD management. SIA programs, the Bryota service product, has a perfect amalgam of technology and human interface, which is used to improve the lung health through our different armors like yoga, mental health, respiratory coaches, nutrition, pulmonary consultation, etc. We are very happy and proud to inform you that we have many patients who have registered for this program, and our first batch has completed their 8 weeks program. A big congratulations on this completion. These 8-week programs with combination of sessions from expert, a continual monitoring from our SIA coaches have helped them regain and improve their lung health. Bryota congratulates each and every member of this program who wholeheartedly followed all the sessions. We will be sending you all an individual congratulatory certificate shortly. Thank you very much for showing faith in us, and we look forward to each one of you joining us in one or other way to take Bryota SIA program out to all who needs it. The SIA programs which I spoke about are for the first batch have finished their SIA programs, and we have 2 program members who want to share their experiences with us, and we are very happy that they're coming forward to share the experiences. I request Mr. Mangal to start his camera and share his experience. Mr. Mangal, sir.
Thanks, Aditi, for having me, and thanks to Bryota team, entire team, and the SIA team has helped me a lot in kind of recovering from the COVID. I got COVID on I guess 1st of April, and then like on 5th it got diagnosed, and then I had to be admitted. I was in hospital for 12 days, and I was put on oxygen also. My oxygen saturation was also done. So when I got discharged, that time like I was not like I was in the initial stage of recovering. My breathing wasn't proper, and I was feeling weak and a lot of problems. I think all of us know how dangerous this COVID is. I think I got a second life, And that is the time when my friend Gajan, he suggested me about taking this program, and I got onboarded. Aditi, you helped me in kind of giving all the details information about it. And I tell you about this program, the one thing is it is holistic, and we with this kind of COVID kind of disease, like if you are affected by it, you need kind of support in all the fields. Like it's not only affecting the physical health, it's the mental health also. Your diet has to be according to your current situation. So the good thing about this program is it is kind of taking all that into account. So the best part was the yoga class that was conducted, and it helped me immensely, I'll say, because I could see the difference after the very first class in terms of the relaxation that I got out of it. So overall, I think it has benefited me a lot, and it's still like I'm still associated with this program. I've been doing yoga, and Meenakshi ma'am helped me a lot. I took consultancy from her, and she explained to me the entire stages of this recovery, and uh, I got that assurance that I am in good hands. And I think it's been more than 3 months now, and I've
Yes, yes.
recovered a lot. And still, to some extent, I think it is still pending. So hopefully, yes. But thanks a lot to the entire team and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mangal sir. This actually made our day. We have one more patient or the program attender, Mr. Vinod Ingle. Mr. Vinod, can you start your camera, please, and share your experience with us? Mr. Vinod?
Hello.
Yes, Vinod sir. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. I'm Vinod Ingre, residing in Sagar Society. Actually, I also got infected for COVID in the month of April, and fortunately I was at home only, taking treatment at home from that Kingsway Hospital. My HRCT score was only 5, but initially I was having trouble in there was a lot of weakness, and but fortunately with the help of all the treatment from the hospital, I could able to recover from all these things. But post-COVID symptoms was the weakness which I was having for around 10 to 12 days. During that time, my wife had contacted, or Miss Asmita madam had contacted to my wife, and she said is such type of for post-COVID for COVID patients, there is some program Bryota. So you please ask your husband to join this. And I joined this program. I downloaded that app, joined this, and attended some sessions. And I'm very happy to share you that after attending that session, there was much improvement in my health, in breathing and all these things. And right now, I am attending that online yoga classes of Asmita ma'am, and I'm feeling much better. I'm doing it regularly, and I'm happy to share all of you that this program is very beneficial to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod Ingle, sir. And I think Meenakshi ma'am is back, if I can see. And ma'am, if you can start your camera and share your thoughts about SIA programs.
I'm fortunate to be a part of a SIA program directly. So we started with the having thought of that we have to do a post-COVID thing also, because we know they with all the situation we gone through in this 1.5 year, there are so much of we are hearing COVID and how to take care at home, but there is a long term things with the post COVID also.
Yes.
Patients come up with the very much of a psychiatric disturbance, aloneness, the isolation. It has its own impact. What to do, and all there is a lockdown effects are there. So the SIA help, I think, help them out with the digital mode. So the first and favorite mode of this is the digital one. So you can assist from your home all the facilities. So SIA consists of the teamwork. Always it is a teamwork with the nutritionist, psychiatrist, yoga therapy, and myself as a pulmonologist. So we helped them whenever and however required. So there are so many symptoms post-COVID also. Patient complaints of breathlessness. Then they complains of cough, long time fatigue, malaise. These are the so many common complaints patients comes with, and also mental disturbance, depression, anxiety, all are there. So I think it is a comprehensive program which definitely helped a lot of people and will be helping in a lot of peoples also in the future. Okay.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. And I'm always, we are grateful to you for your guidance and encouragement. Before we move on to the best session, that is the health talk, which we are going ahead with, I would like to mention a few names. They being on this session has really made us feel great. One of the person is Dr. Sandeep Salvi. I could see in pulmonary, Sandeep Salvi sir's name is really taken with a lot of respect. Thank you, sir, for joining in. I can see Dr. Sharmishta joining in from Government of India TDB department. Thank you, Dr. Sharmishta, for being here and supporting us always. Now let's move to the session which we all are waiting for. Listening to the expert and understanding the most important topic of today's world, how to take care of self at home after recovering from COVID. This session will be taken care by the renowned pulmonologist, Dr. Radha Munji. Before we proceed, I would like to tell you that you can put up your questions in the chat box. We will take up the question in the question answer session. Without wasting any more time, I request our esteemed guest, Dr. Radha Munji, to please go ahead. Ma'am, you can start your camera and over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes. It seems that network issues are perpetual in spite of being used to all those webinars and the virtual programs that we are having since almost 1.5 years now.
Right.
First and foremost, a big thank you, Aditi and Mr. Gajanan Sakre, for inviting me on this platform. In fact, I remember it was nearly 8 months ago when the first wave subsided that I met Mr. Sakre and his team at Nagpur. And when we discussed about, at that time, we were discussing about when do we really restart care of our old asthmatic and COPD cases and ILD cases in whom we need monitoring as well as we need to do a follow-up whenever we want to do it by spirometry. म्हणजे बाकीचे जे पेशंट is Marathi allowed, Aditi?
Yes, ma'am. Marathi, Hindi is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. The thought process was that even if the COVID cases have come down after the first wave, doctors were reluctant to ask each and every patient to come for a follow-up in the OPD, whether it's a government setup or a private setup. And equally important was that even the patient feared, like patient every time wants to go to a doctor and gets himself examined, gets his questions answered. However, that was not the case or the level of comfort after the first wave. Somehow, even if the second wave we were hit very badly with the second wave, Somehow after second wave, somewhere when it started declining, this type of hesitancy is no more there. Perhaps because patients are vaccinated, many of them, the doctors are fully vaccinated. But now we do welcome each and every patient to come to our OPD and do a follow. But that time we were wondering, and Mr. Sakre had come up with a wonderful concept of a home-based spirometry, which can not only can be done at home, but you can encourage the patient because it's a performance based. You instruct a patient, आप patient को बताते हो कि सांस लीजिए, सांस रोकिए, अब सांस जोर से छोड़िए. All these things without supervising cannot be performed optimally. However, they have a wonderful device where we can really supervise, encourage the patient, and try to get the best possible spirometric values. Then Aditi had asked me to talk about few of the post-COVID complications. I would just be listing and how to take care of them. But I personally feel that each of our patient who comes out of COVID, whether he is being treated at home or he needs hospitalization, himself has a unique set of symptoms which belongs to him. There is nothing predict. You can never predict which patient will have which post-COVID complication. However, it has been seen that almost all patients, when they come out of COVID, even if they do not complain about any particular symptom or do not have a particular complaint, but if you ask them की तुमचं कोविड मधून चांगले झाल्यानंतर कोविड से अच्छा होने के बाद say at the end of 14 days or 15 days when you are declared cured, you do not have symptoms for last 7-10 days, there is no need to repeat RT-PCR. But once you know you are cured, और बाद में अगर उनको पूछा कि वो 15 दिन के बाद आपको कुछ तकलीफ थी क्या, then at least 80% of these people would answer yes, they may have any type of symptoms. अब ये symptom mild या minor रह सकता है, और all those patients who were hospitalized for a longer duration or had more lung involvement or more complications in hospitalization can have more complaints even after discharge. Excuse me. So the commonest complaint which we have come across with that patient complaint are weakness. Everybody, म्हणजे आजपर्यंत I'm sure there is nobody around us who has never come across any type of viral infections as such. जब भी आपको सर्दी खांसी होती है, बुखार आता है, you go to a doctor, you do so many blood tests which are nowadays available, doctor examines you, and then the last thing which he says ki, I think this is a viral infection. I think everybody has experienced. However, after coming out of those viral infections, people never experience such a long-term complications or long-term complaints of weakness. Somehow, because ये COVID infection होने के बाद में आपके body के अंदर जो बाकी reactions होता है, like your body fights against any type of infection, so it fights against COVID also and tries to overcome. लेकिन ये fight करने में शायद आपके body का not only the immunity but the other factors of your body are brought into action, और काफी कुछ शरीर का एनर्जी, इम्यूनिटी, आपका जो भी स्टोरेज रहता है माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स, प्रोटीन्स का, ये सारा शायद यूटिलाइज which are affected. कोविड में लंग्स ही इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. पहले आपको सर्दी खांसी होगा, वही इन्फेक्शन नीचे जाएगा, एंड मल्टीपल इम्यूनोलॉजिकल रिएक्शन से जो लंग का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है, तो जब इन्फेक्शन निकल भी जाता है तो काफी दिन खांसी रहती है. कई पेशेंट्स को few of them have cough which does not have expectoration, यानी एकदम ड्राई, सूखी, लेकिन खांसने के बाद गले में, छाती में भारीपन आना, इस टाइप की खांसी बहुत ज्यादा रहती है। कुछ कम लोगों को खांसी के बाद में, अगर इनका लंग इन्वॉल्वमेंट पहले ज्यादा था और ये भर्ती थे या फिर से इन्फेक्शंस कुछ हो गए, तो ऐसे लोगों को खांसी में थोड़ा बहुत बलगम भी निकलता है। Then the third important, as Meenakshi was saying, thoda psychological symptoms. Many patients have different type of psychological reactions to the infection. The first and foremost is the fear of COVID. COVID का अब तो लोग थोड़े संभल गए हैं, लेकिन कोविड के नाम से ही कि कोविड का इन्फेक्शन हुआ है, लोग काफी डर जाते थे। उसके बाद में डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन, आप जितने दिन भर्ती रहेंगे, जितने दिन आपको ऑक्सीजन का जरूरत था, आप बार बार आपका पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर से और ऑक्सीजन सैचुरेशन देखा गया, तो मन में वो डर बैठ जाता है। कई लोगों को जनरल वार्ड से या वार्ड में से आईसीयू में शिफ्ट करना पड़ा। आईसीयू का माहौल, वहां के बाकी सीरियस पेशेंट, रात की नींद न होना, दिन भर का वहां का रूटीन अलग रहता है, तो आप भले ही डॉक्टर आपके आसपास में है, इसके आपके मन को शांति या तसल्ली रहती है, बट इन स्पाइट ऑफ सो मेनी पीपल अराउंड यू, देयर इज एन unspoken, unexplained fear in your mind, which continues for a long time, and many people are known to be depressed after they come out of the hospitals. और देन अनदर थिंग इज इंसोम्निया, यानी नींद न लगना। बहुत लोगों को स्टार्टिंग में रियलाइज नहीं होता है, लेकिन 15-20 दिन के बाद में रियलाइज होता है कि रात को मुझे नींद नहीं आती, विच वॉज नेवर अ प्रॉब्लम अर्लियर विद देम। तो बिकॉज नींद आने के लिए आपको कई चीजों की जरूरत होती है, विच हैज बीन डिप्राइव्ड ड्यूरिंग कोविड इन्फेक्शन, ड्यूरिंग एडमिशन, और ये मन में जो फियर रहता है, इसके वजह से आपको नींद नहीं आती। इसके बाद में जनरलाइज्ड वीकनेस, यानी जोड़ों में कभी दर्द रहना, नीचे अगर बैठते हैं आप तो आप उठ नहीं पाते, या थोड़ा बहुत आप चलते हैं तो यू फील लाइक कि मुझे पैर में ऐसे लग रहा है गोले आ रहे हैं, आई कैन नॉट वॉक। तो ये सारी चीजें जो है, दैट इज ऑल व्हाट वी कॉल एज मायालजिया, यानी मसल पेन रहता है या वीकनेस रहता है, किसी को आर्थराइटिस रहता है। And today I'm not going to talk about any other system involvement, यानी आपको कोविड के बाद में हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम आया, किसी को न्यूरोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम आया, किसी को दूसरे सिस्टम्स इन्वॉल्व हो गए, उसके बारे में हम बात नहीं करेंगे। We will talk about general side effects or complications which you see at the end of your either hospitalization or the disease process. और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये देखा गया है कि क्योंकि हम आपको कोविड के ट्रीटमेंट के वक्त जितने लोगों को भर्ती होना पड़ा या जितने लोगों को कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ज्यादा थे, दे हैड टू इनवेरिएबली रिसीव स्टेरॉइड्स, और उसके वजह से किसी का शुगर बढ़ गया, ये एक बहुत ही कॉमनली देखा गया। तो ये सब देखने के बाद सबके मन में ये डर आ सकता है कि इतने सारे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस अगर होंगे तो हमारा आगे जाके कैसा होगा। So let me tell you in one single sentence that even if COVID has lot of complications and lot of lung involvement, which we see on X-ray and CT, luckily for us, भले ही टाइम लगता है, लेकिन over a span of 2 to 3 months, ये लंग का इन्वॉल्वमेंट जो है वो धीरे धीरे कम होने लगता है, और इसी के वजह से अगर किसी को डिस्चार्ज के वक्त ऑक्सीजन का जरूरत था, तो ऑक्सीजन का रिक्वायरमेंट कम होते होते 0 पे आ जाता है और आपको ऑक्सीजन के रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं रहती। उसी तरह चलने फिरने के बाद में जो आपको वीकनेस था वो भी धीरे धीरे कम हो जाता है। लेकिन इसके लिए बहुत जरूरी ये है कि यू रिकॉग्नाइज योर सिम्टम्स अर्लियर। ओके, तो जैसे और इसके लिए मैं चाहूंगी कि नॉट ओनली द कोविड पेशेंट्स बट हिज फैमिली and his treating doctor, because every time it may not be possible for everybody to go to a consultant or a specialist. तो जरूरी है कि आपके family doctors or the doctor who have been treating you and your family members have to be caring enough. They should be able to give the first mental and moral support comes from your family. So your family is very, very important. Then comes programs which has been extended by companies like Bryota, जहां ऑनलाइन अगर आपको सपोर्टिव ट्रीटमेंट मिलता है, तो दैट इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट थिंग्स पॉसिबल, एंड यू कैन ज्वाइन एनी सपोर्टिव or a pulmonary rehabilitation program there. ये ऑनलाइन कंसल्टेशन में आपको सबसे पहले डाइट के बारे में एडवाइस मिलना बहुत जरूरी है, so that you start getting a high protein diet, you get micronutrient supplementation, you get antioxidants, ताकि जितना शरीर में गलावट आ गई है, that all is being taken care of, and you come to a level of neutral, and then you start gaining your energy or power slowly, so that you come out of it. Then second important thing is, as you improve with your diet, at the same time आपको physical therapy करना बहुत जरूरी है. Physical therapy में the most and important thing is that you should not be bedridden. थकान आती है, सांस फूलती है, ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत है, इसलिए आप अगर सो के रहोगे तो you are going to have more complications, which is possible even in spite of, यानी कोविड नहीं भी हुआ और अगर आपका घूमना फिरना एकदम बंद हो जाता है तो you are likely to have complications. So the second most important thing is that if you are in bed, you will do exercises in the bed, और आपके सारे joints को, वो भले ही उंगलियों के joints हो, आपके पैरों के joints हो, हाथ के joints हो, कंधे के joints हो, गर्दन के joints हो, पीठ के joints हो, इनको सबको mobilize करना बहुत जरूरी है, ताकि ये mobilize रहे, आपका शरीर में खून अच्छे से संक्रमित होता रहे, so that उससे एनर्जी आपको मिलेगी, प्लस खून की गठाने यानी जिसको हम डीवीटी बोलते हैं या पेरिफेरल थ्रोम्बोसिस बोलते हैं, इसका डर भी कम रहेगा या ये नहीं होगा, एंड यू कैन हैव अ अनइवेंटफुल रिकवरी फ्रॉम दिस कोविड इन्फेक्शन. इसके बाद में बिकॉज द लंग्स आर बीइंग इन्वॉल्व, ये फिजियोथेरेपी हो गया, जनरलाइज्ड फिजियोथेरेपी. You can do asanas which are permitted to you, or if you have a teacher who comes online, it's well and good. Then comes breathing exercises as well as diaphragm strengthening exercises, क्योंकि आपके lungs तो कमजोर हो ही गए हैं, लेकिन lungs के बाजू में जो muscles हैं, आपके जो diaphragm है, आप breathing लेते वक्त जो muscles का उपयोग करते हैं, वो सारे weak हो गए हैं, तो उनको धीरे धीरे strong करना है, और इसी के साथ साथ लंग का पावर भी बढ़ाना है. और इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा कि आपके ये सारे प्रोग्राम्स में डीप ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस सिखाया गया है, ताकि आप लंबी सांस ले, सांस को रोक के रखे जितना आपको पॉसिबल है, एंड देन यू डू अ स्लो एक्सेलेशन, ताकि मसल स्ट्रेंथनिंग के साथ साथ आपको लंग्स को ऑक्सीजन मिलता है, विच गेट्स एक्सचेंज एंड सर्कुलेट्स इन द बॉडी एंड टेक्स केयर ऑफ the normal body functions which are happening throughout the day. इसके बाद में हम usually थोड़ा meditation भी करने को बोलते हैं, ताकि आपको जो anxiety है, जो मन में डर बैठ गया है, वो निकल जाए, and sleep related जो भी आपके problems है, they are being taken care of. Usually we do not advise any drugs to bring स्लीपीनेस, यानी कई बार आपने देखा होगा अगर नींद नहीं आती है, एंजाइटी है, तो आपको कई बार दवाई डॉक्टर देते हैं, बट यूजुअली कोविड के बाद में ज्यादा एंटी एंजाइटी या एंटी डिप्रेसेंट्स नहीं देते हैं, एंड दे ट्राई टू टेक केयर ऑफ योर स्लीप, एंड दे एक्सप्लेन टू यू इन अ बेटर वे, और अगर कोई दवाई की जरूरत पड़ी तो ही ये दवाई दी जाती है. देन मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज दैट यू शुड नॉट हैव फियर इन योर माइंड, क्योंकि कोविड से ठीक होने के बाद में मन का डर दूर होने को बहुत टाइम लगता है, और उसी के लिए ये जो सारे ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स है, व्हेन यू कैन नॉट, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल इफ somebody is on oxygen, even if you have facilities, it's not easy to come down from the house, go into your car, then again walk to the clinic, again come back and all. So such type of distant programs, if you take help of all these things, it's possible to be done at home at your own comfort level. हर एक का रिकवरी का स्पीड अलग होता है, हर एक का एक्सरसाइज का स्पीड अलग होता है. So I cannot compare one patient with another. But if I'm talking to you even on mobile or virtually, I can encourage you that yes, you can do. If your requirement of oxygen is not high, if you are not getting fatigue, आपको आपका endurance धीरे 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 बढ़ाने का है. That can be done, and with that we have seen that many patients recover very well. Usually this weakness and all would disappear after 2 to 3 weeks after you are off COVID. That means आप कोविड के अगर बाहर आते हैं तो उसके बाद में 2 से 3 हफ्ता या ज्यादा से ज्यादा 4 हफ्ता आपको थकावट रह सकती है, but it goes away and very few people can have this feeling of weakness for a prolonged time. मुझे खुद को ऐसा लगता है the type of patients that we have seen, we have identified that those who are elderly, यानी 60 साल, 55, 50 years and above, जिनको डायबिटीज है, जिनको हाइपरटेंशन है, जिनको हार्ट डिजीज है, जिनको शुगर है, इन सारे लोगों को, और जिनको हॉस्पिटलाइज होना पड़ा फॉर मोर देन 10 to 15 days, जिनको आईसीयू में रहना पड़ा, इन सारे लोगों को ये पोस्ट कोविड कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ज्यादा होते हैं. एंड फॉर देम अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फैमिली सपोर्ट अलोंग विथ अ गुड पेशेंट केयर प्रोग्राम अगर हम ऑफर करते हैं तो दे वुड कम आउट ऑफ इट क्वाइट वेल एंड क्वाइट अर्ली. कई लोगों के मन में बहुत सवाल होंगे, तो आई थिंक इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग अ मोनोलॉग that I'm just talking about COVID and post-COVID weather, whereas we want to have a very positive, healthy and happy atmosphere on these platforms. So I think we should have questions and then we would be able to answer them. In fact, I think, Aditi, few of your patients can be role model for other patients to encourage them to take up this and come out of their various issues that they may have. मीनाक्षी मॅडम, तुम्हाला काय वाटतं?
हो, नक्कीच. क्वेश्चन आन्सर सेशन हा छान राहील. थँक्यू मॅम. इट्स व्हेरी नाईस टू हिअर युअर थॉट्स अबाउट कोविड. You are very senior to me and it's very much well to listen to you. So Aditi, I think we should go
Right.
for a
In
question
fact,
answer
I
session.
did not see Sandeep, but it's good to have such a senior and experienced person on this platform.
Absolutely. Yes. Ma'am, I'll just give you a 2 minutes break. I have somebody very special on this program. As we are speaking about yoga, we have our yoga guru from Yoga Wellness Center. And he would like to share his experience. He has been treating our CR patients and he's been a very strong part of our journey. And I think I don't have to say much. I think Raj sir, you can unmute yourself and can share. And welcome to the session, sir. And thank you always for being here. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. So I think doctor was talking about what should be the kind of practices, the yoga after COVID or during COVID. So I think we are doing the same kind of practices, right? So joint exercises, more on joint, because the joint spaces are there, and the blood flow to the joints is always lower side.
Yes.
And when you don't move your body, then this all synovial fluid become like a gel, and then it further blocks the movement of blood. And the main part is the draining lymphatic system.
Yes.
So, yeah, so draining the lymphatic system very important. Otherwise, the extracellular fluid, it completely blocked with the toxins, medicines, whatever you are taking during the this COVID treatment. So that's why we, in our classes every day, I'm insisting on doing Pawan Muktasana, very gentle. Anybody can do it. Even person has anybody who has no fever can participate in yoga. And then we focus on respiratory, strengthening the respiratory system, the muscles. Because what happens in lower respiratory infection is there are cramps here, full cramps, every part of the body, abdomen, diaphragm, the intercostal muscles, these muscles, everywhere there is a full jam system. We try to open it with simple exercises by rotation of hand, and then lying down on the back, raising the hand back. So we do all the exercises and very simple deep breathing we do. And for deep relaxation, as I said, most of the COVID patients who contacted me, they have sleep problem. They're not able to sleep. Most of them, 99%. Probably because of anxiety, they think that anytime something will happen to them, or because of the steroids, too much of cortisol in the body, the mind is very hyper. So sympathetic arousal is too much. So we need to stimulate the vagus nerve and stimulate the parasympathetic system. So for that, we are doing Yoga Nidra regularly. And for positive thought process, we are doing visualization, seeing sunrise, blue sky, rainbow, flying birds.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then lotus. So many times people are not understanding, sir, why sir is teaching such a simple practices. Because it's a demand of the situation. In this situation, we can learn only these practices. Because if you try to do some strenuous exercises, there are inflammations everywhere in the body. It will harm you more than helping. So we are
Yes.
trying to smooth down the whole system. First, let the system come down to the ground. And then very simple Narishwadan, without force, without sound, you have to just breathe in and breathe out, guide the breath. So, and then Brahmari Pranayama we do so that the person will get sleep. We need to correct this melatonin, serotonin cycle in the brain.
Yes.
So every time we do it, and I think we have very good results. We need to increase the participants. Once they understand, once they understand the value of the scientific way of practicing yoga, then I hope now we're taking classes at 8:10 in the morning, quite early.
Right.
So the more and more patients should come and participate in this post-COVID rehabilitation yogic program. And then we'll be having more and more. So whatever the doctors were suggesting, and I think we are implementing already in the class.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you so much for reestablishing the thought process what we are doing already. So
Yes. Thank you so much, Raj sir. And I'll see you soon on Tuesday for the yoga session.
yes.
Yes. I wanted to know, Gajanan sir, you're there?
Yeah, I'm there. I just started my video as well.
Yes. So before we actually jump to the question and answers, there will be something more coming from our founder and managing director, Dr. Gajanan sir.
Namaskar, Radha madam, Meenakshi madam, Sandeep sir, thank you so much for joining this call. As Aditi and Meenakshi ma'am mentioned, Sandeep sir has been really helpful to Bryota from the day we actually decided to start working on asthma. So I've been working with Sandeep Salve sir from 2018, I think, taking his guidance and understanding how this entire respiratory therapeutics can be improved, especially in India as well as in Europe. So Sandeep sir, thank you so much for joining. And Radha ma'am, actually, when I met you in Nagpur earlier, the idea was what we can do for our Nagpur patients or what we can do in our Vidarbha region.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, due to COVID lockdown, we couldn't do much, but you've been always helpful to us. You allowed us to set up a spirometry unit at IGMC. But again, due to COVID, we couldn't do it much. But as soon as the situation comes to normal, we'd like to offer free spirometry services to all the patients who come to IGMC. So thank you so much, Radha ma'am. And Meenakshi ma'am, again, I mean, not only for the SIA program, but the VIEW study that we did was also possible
Yes.
because of your and Symbiosis team's help. So just so that we put things in context, when we started Bryota, our idea was to work on asthma. My mother is an asthma patient, and I've been always trying to see why asthma patients suffer and what we can do from technology perspective. So that's where we started Bryota, and I'll just share my screen and give just our journey walkthrough of what we have been. Because from asthma now we are talking about COVID-19, and we never started as a COVID-19 company. I mean, it's unfortunate, or it just happened that we decided to work on COVID. Okay, but we initially started with this asthma remission program. It's a 12-month program, and we named it as SIA because SIA stands for Systematic Intervention Agent. And our idea was, if there is a health coach who can work as a conduit between the doctor and the patient and involve family as well, asthma can be controlled. So we started with asthma first. But then as COVID-19 started, we got into COVID-19 lung rehabilitation. And many of the patients that are in the call today are part of this COVID rehabilitation program. With the Meenakshi ma'am and Symbiosis team and guidance from Sandeep sir, we actually built a system called VIEW, which is COVID-19 early warning. And we did a clinical trial at Symbiosis Hospital. So that was also appreciated by Government of India. We also did a similar project on high-risk patients with BIRAC support. And then we worked with various institutions, including Mumbai Municipality Corporation and Hindalco factories. So we served over 40,000 patients. And I'm really, I'm really happy that we could do this service while everybody was struggling with COVID-19. So as part of this COVID program, we enhanced our device portfolio. We built a new device called Breathe Pro, which some of you might have already used. And we have this now View Scale, which has been, like I said, clinically tried, or a user study was conducted at Symbiosis Hospital. As you can see on the screen, when we started working on the devices, since I'm from Nagpur, of course, I met Radha ma'am, and I also met Honorable Minister Nitin ji, and showed him the device that we have built. So it's first handheld spirometer. It's an import substitute that we built in India. And for that, then we got a lot of support from Technology Development Board team. Dr. Sarmishta Mehta is on a call, and from BIRAC team. And then we also continued our journey by building more devices related to respiratory therapeutics. Just moving on to the next. In this process, we also got a lot of awards. Aditi as a CEO, and Shardul as our CTO, and Dr. Viraj. Everybody got appreciated through various awards, Aegis Graham Bell Awards. We got selected in Qualcomm, Scotch Award, as well as Accelerist program. And this entire journey, whatever work we could do for COVID-19 patients, Symbiosis Hospital was really helpful. Yoga Wellness Center, Raj Kamal ji is there on the call. He's also my personal yoga guru. I met him because of this COVID-related activity, and I really liked the importance that he gives to holistic living. And we requested him to get involved into Briota SIA programs, and he joined us. Mana Wellness, you might have taken some sessions with Mana Wellness from their psychology counselors. They have really been helpful and supportive. We also have few nutrition teachers who are helping us, or nutrition coaches who are helping. SAM Integration is another entity who has been really supportive and helpful to us. So I just wanted to mention these few names just to give you an idea that we didn't start as a COVID-19 entity. We don't want to be in COVID-19. We really hope that that's not our business model. COVID-19 goes away, and we are back to what we decided to focus on initially, on asthma.
Right.
So thank you so much, all the participants, as well as all partners and supporters. And also, I mean, it's not appropriate to say thank you to my own team, but I really appreciate the work which Aditi, Shardul, Viraj, Shubhangi, Suyesh, Roshan, all these guys have done for our SIA program in last many months. So just wanted to share a background before we take on questions for Dr. Radha ma'am, Meenakshi ma'am, and if there are any questions, and if Dr. Sandeep Salvi sir is willing to answer,
Yes.
we can request him as well to answer some of the questions.
So add on this, so whatever we have, sir has said about a view study, we have presented that study in the NAPCON,
Yes,
where
yes.
in the national platform, and also in the award-winning session. So though we missed our prize over there, we expect in the ERS Congress to present over there and win over there.
Right. Yes, madam. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
continuation
over
to
you,
this.
Aditi.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So continuation to this, and we have been talking about Sandeep sir, and it will be really, privilege and our, for good fortune if Sandeep sir can say something. If you can come over, sir, on the screen and share your views, it will be a really great gesture, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me for this program. I must say, this is a wonderful initiative by Briota, and Dr. Meenakshi Bhakre is a very good and a close colleague of mine at the Symbiosis Medical College. As mentioned earlier, I have known Briota for a couple of years, and I know the good work that they have been doing in the field of asthma, starting with asthma, but I believe that there is a tremendous scope for other lung diseases as well. There are an estimated 3 crore people who have recovered from COVID-19, 3 crore. And I believe that about 15 to 20% of them will be left with some lung residual damage in the form of pulmonary fibrosis. Now, this pulmonary fibrosis seems to be reversible. So we believe that it will improve with time. but there will be a small proportion of these who will continue to have serious residual lung disease. Now, in order to diagnose these people and in order to follow them up with a very simple diagnostic test, I think the spirometer that Bryota has developed is going to be of immense value. So although developed for an asthma purpose, I believe it's COVID is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the spirometer that they have developed. It's important. It's important to screen these patients. It's important to follow these patients to see how their lung function is getting better with time. So the forced vital capacity, which is a very useful and an important parameter to understand the amount and the degree of pulmonary fibrosis, can be easily undertaken with this handheld spirometer. So I would very strongly recommend that this should be used, and I believe the government should actually take an active initiative in ensuring that this becomes a very common handheld technique and a test that can be used all across the country. So although started for asthma, I think this will be of immense value for COVID-19. So thank you very much for having me, and it's been a pleasure to share the dais with such eminent luminaries, especially Dr. Radha Munje and Dr. Meenakshi. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. This really means a lot to us. Thank you. Now let's go towards the questions, the chat box, and we have many questions through Facebook as well. So it's my privilege to share the screen with Dr. Radha Munje and Dr. Meenakshi ma'am. So without wasting much time, let me ask the first question to Radha ma'am. The question is, protective immunity developed after COVID-2 infection. Is there any possibility of reinfection occurring? That is what we have received a question from the patient.
Yes. Though after COVID infection, you are most likely to develop antibodies which will remain in your body for at least another 3 to 6 months. Plus, there is something like memory cells in your body. So they will retain the memory of this infection, and as soon as this infection comes again, it can be fought back by your body. Unfortunately, even if you develop antibodies, there is no absolute number of antibodies. Like you can measure the number of antibodies, you can distinguish which type of antibodies they are. I'm not going to go into the scientific details of it. However, any amount of antibodies does not offer absolute protection. यानी ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोविड का इन्फेक्शन हुआ या आपने कोविड का वैक्सीन लिया और एंटीबॉडीज डेवलप हो गए तो अब आपको कोविड का इन्फेक्शन नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं है. And that is why we have always been insisting that as long as COVID continues to be a pandemic, you have to have a COVID appropriate behavior. यानी कोविड हो गया, एंटीबॉडीज पॉजिटिव आ गई, वैक्सीन ले लिया, फिर भी आपको मास्क यूज करना है. अवॉइड गोइंग टू प्लेसेस विच आर क्राउडेड. अवॉइड गोइंग आउट अनलेस इट इज एब्सोल्युटली नेसेसरी. ये आपको एज अ न्यू नॉर्म, एज अ न्यू लाइफस्टाइल आपको ये फॉलो करना ही है.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. So there is one very valid question, Dr. Meenakshi, I would like to ask you. If the parents are COVID affected, then how to take care of the kids 3 to 5 years? And also they are asking that if there is a third wave of the children, what precaution they should take? So there is a mix of two. A concerned parent, themselves also are concerned about children, COVID and their own infection.
So when isolation is the one thing, foremost thing when you develop a COVID, though you have a children at home, let them be with another this one guardians and have a total isolation from them. For any ongoing immunity, they should have a proper diet and all the things continuously. So many a times we have seen in the second wave there are families totally affected. And in that wave, any patients means we have seen a 1 month baby to up to a 90 years, this one, male or female affected with the COVID. So COVID haven't spared anyone. So the immunity is the one thing with your good diet, good exercise, where you can prevent the things. And when you develop a COVID, definitely the isolation. आपण जर मॅडम सारखं मी पण मराठीत सांगू इच्छिते की जेव्हा कुणाला आपल्या घरात कोविड होईल तेव्हा आपण घराच्या बाकीच्या सदस्यांपासून वेगळं होणं हे सगळ्यात महत्वाचं आहे. ते पूर्णतः वेगळं होणं आणि आपल्या जे काही गायडन्स सांगितलेलं आहे डॉक्टरने त्याच्या प्रकारे करणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. आणि सेकंड क्वेश्चन वॉज देअर when if there is a pediatric wave. So
Right,
whatever it is I think so the scientific and Manju ma'am also will agree with me if there is a third wave, we hope so not, but then also most probably it will not affect the pediatric age group. It will affect 90% of adult age group only. And if so, it is proven with the scientific things. And the second thing, if there is an infection with in a pediatric, then also whatever experience we have in this 1.5 year, the pediatric population is having a good immunity, and there is a very mild symptoms they have, and the cure rate is very high in a pediatric case. Okay.
Right.
And if there is something, it is a one more study proven that influenza vaccine is having a equal immunity towards the COVID. It is avoiding a severe COVID in the this one pediatric age group. So that is the one option. Once again, have a influenza vaccine to your children in a schedule base. So so there will be no severe COVID in there.
Yes.
Thank you.
And, something
Yeah.
which Meenakshi said, but in passing, that whenever you are isolating your children, it's very difficult to keep them away. So the person who is infected or who has symptoms, actually isolation should start at the time when you perceive symptoms. यानी कोई भी एक सिम्टम अगर आपको आता है और आपको लगता है कि ये कोविड रह सकता है, that is the time जब आपने आपको isolate करना है. You should not wait for the reports to come as either positive or negative to isolate yourself. That is the
Right.
best strategy of protecting your family members.
True.
Secondly, the patient should start using mask, as well as others in the family at home also should be using mask. Third, importantly, agar bachcha hai, which Meenakshi was saying about isolation, but a small tip to enhance that idea of isolation is कि बच्चे हमेशा उनके मम्मी पापा के साथ में सोते हैं. So if you can avoid that, and you can avoid sharing of common objects like napkins, towels, bed sheets, pillow covers, and if the children can be kept away when they are sleeping, तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें अगर आप करते हैं तो children will be protected. And most importantly, जब हम protection की बात करते हैं तो जो बोलस है यानी जो वायरल इन्फेक्शन का जो लोड है वो कम होता है, इसलिए risk of having that infection and disease is also decreased.
Right.
So that is important.
Right. So there is one question coming from chat box. So Dr. Radha, I would like to ask this question to you. Is it compulsory to take blood thinning tabs for 60 days after completing course of remdesivir injections?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful question.
Yeah.
And otherwise it would have been very difficult to answer. Actually, remdesivir and blood thinning tablets, इनका एक दूसरे से कोई भी संबंध नहीं है. Remdesivir is an antiviral drug which needs to be given only in advanced stages. I will not say severities, advanced stages of COVID. जब ऑक्सीजन का जरूरत पड़ता है, that means most of the lungs are involved, that is the time when the doctors usually advise remdesivir to you. एट द सेम टाइम जब आपको ऑक्सीजन कम पड़ता है, it indicates many things which is going on in the body. So ऑक्सीजन का जरूरत पड़ेगा. रेमडेसिविर तो देना नहीं देना ये डॉक्टर डिसाइड करके बताएगा, बट दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन यू विल बी पुट ऑन स्टीरॉइड्स बाय योर डॉक्टर. एंड कोविड में ये देखा गया है कि मेनी पेशेंट्स हैव लॉट्स ऑफ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ऑफ ब्लड कोएगुलेशन. स्मॉल क्लॉट्स तैयार होते हैं या कभी कभी बड़े क्लॉट्स और एम्बोलिज्म होता है. उसको प्रिवेंट करने के लिए ब्लड थिनिंग एजेंट्स देते हैं. If you are hospitalized for first 8 to 10 days, perhaps you are given in the injectable form. And once you are discharged and are at home, then you are given in the tablet form. उसको कितने दिन देना है depends upon your condition and your blood parameters and what type of complications you had during hospitalization. तो इसके लिए ऐसा absolute duration नहीं है कि 1 महीना देना है, 2 महीना देना है, 3 महीना देना है. That's one thing. Second important thing you have to understand that if you already have the risk, आपको अगर clotting का already risk है, आपको पहले peripheral thrombosis हो चुका है, या आपको अगर हार्ट का बीमारी था और आपको हार्ट अटैक आ चुका है, या आपको कोई न्यूरोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम है, कभी कभार माइल्ड अटैक आके गया है ब्रेन का या पैरालिसिस का, और तब क्लॉट हुआ था, इसका डायग्नोसिस हो चुका है, तो कोविड के बाद में आपको या कोविड के साथ साथ ये कॉम्प्लिकेशंस होने का डर रहता है. तो एट दैट टाइम इवन इफ यू हैव माइल्ड फॉर्म ऑफ डिजीज, even if you don't need oxygen, even if you are not hospitalized, looking at your past history, looking at your presentation, and looking at the risk of having this type of thrombus, your doctor will advise you blood thinner or blood thinning medicines, and your doctor will keep you under follow up. And at that time minimum 1 महीना देते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद में कितना देना, कितना कम करना, क्या डोज टाइट्रेट करना, that is best left to your own treating doctor. I don't think there can be a blanket statement of 1 month, 2 months, or 4 months for that matter.
So have faith in your doctor and follow what your doctors are saying. This is something very important after COVID or otherwise as well. Next question, Dr. Meenakshi, you replied in the chat box, but I would like our people to know about it. So there's a question says, does immunity get affected by antibiotics treatment for other ailment post-COVID, which includes dental?
Okay, so I have replied it
Yes.
as a no. So antibiotics will not harm your immunity as such, because we gave antibiotic whenever required, then only.
Right.
Don't take antibiotics by your own way. Have consult your doctors. So I have mentioned there also, evaluate your each and every symptom. Not
Right.
only for the dentistry. So many times we have once again after 1 to 2 months, patients comes with the fever, and they do all the things like a blood test for the COVID, and there is an increase in CRP or anything, and they think we are infected once again with the COVID. It is not like that. Each
Okay.
and every fever has its own different thing. It is not only COVID in the scenario. So we should have all things evaluated, and your immunity definitely does not go down with the antibiotics, though it is used in the COVID or any other post-COVID infection.
Right. Next question, probably which has a similar connections. If sugar is detected during COVID, then for how many days it persists, and is it required to take tablets for the same? Meenakshi ma'am.
So, in continuation with this, so if sugar is detected in the COVID, is it due to we commonly do a HbA1c test, which gives us a record of your 3 months actual sugar. So if it is high, so it is not related to COVID as such. It is because of COVID you have got detected this, you have a diabetes. So in that case, you have to take diabetic medicines. But definitely, when there is a moderate to severe cases of a COVID, and we tend to give steroids in that case, there is an increased chance of high sugars, where we give insulin injections to the patients in a IPD setup also, and can instruct in the at home also. For that, definitely after some, when there is a reduction in the steroid use,
Right.
as we know, we give a tapering dose of a steroid. After that, this sugar problem will also control. But if you diagnose with the diabetes and you have a diabetes, definitely it will not go permanently. But if it is due to steroids, definitely as steroids stop, then the sugar problem will also goes down.
Right. So, Dr. Radha, I would like to ask you this question, which is coming from somebody who's working in medical fraternity, looks like. Can URTI lead to LRTI post-COVID? If it is, so can it be prevented by rehabilitation?
That's a wonderful question. In fact, I believe when our yoga guru was talking, I wanted to add, but I thought that that was not the right time to speak. I personally feel that Ayurveda and yoga, they are the way of life. हम उसको ट्रीटमेंट समझते हैं कई चीजों के लिए, बट आई पर्सनली फील इट्स अ वे ऑफ लाइफ. You have to adopt it and do it very ritually. Why I answered this, now I'll tell you on the background of this question. Any upper respiratory tract infection is associated with post nasal drip. यानी आपका नाक से जो ट्रैक चालू होता है, it goes back from your throat and then in your neck and then down it would go. And either whatever are the secretions, they will trickle down from the throat and pass on, go into the stomach automatically, or they will go trickle down from your vocal cords down into the lower respiratory tract. Either the secretions can go or the infection itself can go down. And whenever it crosses the vocal cords and go down into the trachea, that time we call it as lower respiratory tract infection. Every upper respiratory tract infection has a potential to convert into lower respiratory tract infection. What do we mean by potential? Like, for example, you are driving a bicycle or a motorcycle or a car without a brake.
Yeah.
Then there are potential chances of hitting an accident. Similarly, every upper respiratory tract has a potential to go down. Luckily, upper respiratory tract में body का immunological mechanism, protective mechanism इतना अच्छा होता है. We have tonsils, we have nasal hair, we have so many things that usually the upper respiratory tract infection does not go down. Even in COVID, we have seen that the infection it first occurs in the upper airways, then it goes lower down. And along with infection, there are a lot of immunological processes happening, which leads to involvement of the lungs. But if you take proper precautions, for example, if you have upper respiratory tract infection and you remember you have an itching sensation in your throat or a block sensation in your throat, if you do saline gargles at least 3 or 4 times a day, with warm water and putting a pinch of salt, then that infection is taken care of at that particular place only, and it will not trickle down. Right. If you have feeling of blocked nose or tenderness over the sinuses, if you take steam at least 3 or 4 times a day, then whatever secretions are there, they will become liquidified and will come out from the nose, or you will have a cough reflex and you will try to bring it out from your mouth and it will not go down. So if you take proper care of your upper respiratory tract and do not allow it to go down, then the chances or fear of having a lower respiratory tract involvement is minimized and you stay protected from it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is really, really great insight. Next questions, I would like to ask Meenakshi, ma'am. One patient is having tongue cancer and due to tobacco and had COVID recovered as well. So there is a fear in the patient's family that will it go ahead and convert into lung cancer? So is there any possibility of lung cancer?
Okay, as COVID is very new to us, it is only
Yeah.
1.5 years. It is a long standing. We have to search for this. It is because definitely a tobacco or a smoking is a cause of a lung cancer as such. But we haven't seen post-COVID patients because of this exposure going into the lung cancer. So
Right.
it is actually a search area. Definitely, maybe they are thinking with this because there is immunity is going down. But
Right.
as we are talking since 1 hour, there is programs like a SIA program where your immunity and lung functions can back to a normal way. So
Right.
you should do this all yoga and diet and all the things, and definitely stop tobacco or smoking immediately, which is a causing factor for a lung cancer.
Right. And the next question to you again, ma'am. Is it possible that if steroids are used at early stage and without reason, without proper guidance, or the otherwise normal, COVID can turn into long COVID? So this is the question coming in.
Yes, actually, yeah, in this COVID situation, all are using their own scenarios we are seeing. In the periphery area, I can say, and most of the urban areas also, rampant use of steroids is there, and in mild to moderate cases also. Mild, even though asymptomatic cases, also we have seen the use of a steroid is actually a very good question asked by Dr. Abhijit Safai sir. Actually, these steroids can hamper more when it is used not without any indication. So indication for the steroid, it is in when there is a oxygen requirement, when there is a breathlessness to the patient, likely a moderate to severe cases, as there are government guidelines also says same. So definitely a use of this steroids in the mild diseases causing long-term effects. Definitely, what is the side effects of a steroids? They are going to happen like many a times giving a steroid for a short time gives a false belief to a patient of a well-being, but a long time it will hamper your this one. It can cause a diabetes, then it can cause and other symptoms. So it can be a cause of a long COVID too.
Okay. Coming to some more asthma related questions, Dr. Radha, I would like to ask you, ma'am. The question is, it's come from a patient. Is it safe to use nebulizer at home for inhaled medications for asthmatic patients, or will there be any chances of COVID infection?
That's a wonderful question. Let me answer this. If you are using a nebulizer, I'm sure you are using it on the advice of your doctor. One. Secondly, whenever you are using a nebulizer, I believe that that nebulizer is not shared with anybody. Third, we believe that after using the nebulizer, you are washing it, cleaning it, and drying it, the whole assembly properly. That is also assumed. And if you are doing all this, and if only single person is using, nebulizer will not cause or transmit COVID infection. That is for sure. However, I personally believe that most of our patients, 90% of them, or even 99% of them, do not need to use a long-term or lifelong nebulizer. They can easily be shifted to spacers and meter dose inhaler devices.
Thank you so much. It's already 6:15. I'll be taking last 2 to 3 questions, which are already ready here. Okay, there is one question already popped up again. So is it safe to donate blood post-COVID recovery? If yes, how many days post-recovery? Meenakshi ma'am?
Okay, so post-COVID recovery, why you want to donate a blood? It is the most important question. Is it for the antibodies, which is the common scenario for the blood donation in a post-COVID situation? If you are doing that, definitely after 1.5 months with the antibody titer first checked, then only you can go for the blood donation for giving a plasma for the antibodies, which is the one of the therapy for a COVID treatment. If you are going for the blood donation as such for only a blood donation, definitely you can go ahead with that after your full recovery. There is as such a no contraindication because it is not a blood transfused disease as such COVID is. So there is no contraindication for a post-COVID blood donation. Maybe Dr. Radha Munje ma'am can add in something.
Actually, Meenakshi, what we believe, and I think I have come across this question earlier also. For first 4 weeks, you should not be donating blood for obvious reasons. Because even if we do not do RT-PCR, we believe that and you are negative after 10 or 15 days of your infection and first RT-PCR, but it is not advised to donate blood for first 4 weeks as far as I know. And even we are talking about plasma also, we should let everybody know that it has not been proved that plasma is a good modality of treatment. So we as doctors do not encourage that. But if at all you are donating for somebody whom you know who is your family member, then that time also you would donate only after 4 weeks of your first infection. And
Okay.
then only you are eligible to donate, provided you have adequate number of antibodies.
So last 2 questions. So this question is coming from a patient. This question I'd like to ask Meenakshi ma'am. Even with working from home, I'm facing fatigue every day. Is it a symptom of post-COVID, and how should I take care of it? So we have the solution.
So actually we have a solution, but definitely I have came across this type of fatigue and what ma'am said in her talk, that we should first important thing is nutrition diet. It is not only a high protein diet, but definitely a micronutrients. So though there is a lots of multivitamins we are giving in the COVID situation, I personally came across some patients who have vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D3 deficiency after a post-COVID. So for any fatigue, once again, don't label it directly for the post-COVID. You should have a proper investigations done for that. And if there is a treatable cause for this, like a vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D3 deficiency, then go for that. And after that also, if you are having fatigue, definitely you need something like our SIA program, where we progressively, it is a 4 to 6 weeks program, 8 weeks program, where it is a steadily increase in your lung capacities, your other nutrition and yoga. All things are taken care with the distant, as I said earlier, it is a digital mode. So maybe you need that one.
Right. Okay, I'm taking the last question for the evening, Dr. Radha ma'am. So this is a combination of questions. So the question is, I'm having headache in the morning whenever I try to wake up a little bit early. This is a new problem I have seen after I diagnosed with COVID. What can I do to fix it? And also, how long should we continue to use multivitamin tablet post-COVID treatment?
That is also one of the good questions. And if you have early morning headaches, my first advice would be please screen your blood sugar and see whether you are having hypoglycemia or whether you have an uncontrolled blood sugar which has not been detected by now. First and foremost, that is important. Second is, do you have anemia? Like, people look at the blood sugars, people look at everything, but a small amount of anemia may remain ignored. Third important is, many times having been, I do not know what is your hospitalization history, whether it was only COVID infection or long hospitalization. Lying in bed for a very long time, and when you get up, you are likely to have postural hypotension. And at that time, you can either have headache or you can have sudden giddiness when you are trying to get up from the bed. So this is very important. And I think you need a good monitoring first. आपका blood pressure देखना चाहिए, आपका blood sugar देखना चाहिए, आपका thyroid levels देखना चाहिए. And then only there somebody will be able to answer concretely, why do you have morning headache? That is important. And what was the second question they said?
How many days the vitamin tablets? So
we usually say that if you are asymptomatic and after that 2 weeks are over, there is no need to take multivitamin tablets. If your diet is good and it's well supplemented, nobody would advocate giving too many tablets for too long a time.
Right.
Basically, you have to improve on your healthy eating habits so that you do not need to take any external supplementation.
okay, so there have been many other questions, and I am really not able to take it because of the time constraint. I would like all of you to write it to me. My name is Aditi. My email ID is aditi@bryota.co, and I will definitely answer your questions, asking to the experts, Dr. Radha ma'am and Dr. Meenakshi ma'am. I am in touch with them. I will ask your questions. I'll get your question answered, or you can connect us on our website, www.bryota.co. Here, I would like to say, I'm very grateful to ma'am, both of you. And, it is really privileged to share this screen with both of you. And before we conclude this session, thank you very much from Team Bryota. And I would like to invite Dr. Gajanan Sakre, our founder and managing director, to give the vote of thanks. Gajanan sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aditi, and thank you so much, Dr. Meenakshi, Dr. Radha ma'am. I think you three ladies conducted this lovely session today. So it's a very insightful session, and I'm sure all the participants, including patients and some of the doctor fraternity members, also benefited with your experience and your advice. So we look forward to inviting you for such sessions again in near future. I hope you will, you will grant us the permission to invite you again and again for such events.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. And thank you so much for all the participants who have successfully completed the first batch of SIA program. Thank you so much for all SIA coaches who, diligently followed that all the patients abide to the action plan and they follow all the advices given by the doctors and SIA coaches. Thanks to our yoga coach, Raj sir, as well as his team, and all our coaches from nutrition as well as mental health wellness. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for this session, and we look forward to conducting many more such SIA events. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Shall I sign off? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.